Jason Wells here with MLM Complete Package, and I wanted to give an MLM prospecting tip this week, and it's basically what do you do when you get the pyramid objection? And I'm sure everyone's gotten is this one of those pyramid things? And so the way this came up was I got a scenario a couple days ago from actually somebody in my own company who's in Chris and I have mentoring groups in our own company where people pay us for coaching because maybe their upline's not there, or they just want some extra help. And one of the things that is going on in my company is they're opening in Colombia, and so there's some people that are trying to establish some contacts in Colombia before the market opens next week. And so this person had a couple of contacts, and she asked us how to contact them. And I told her simply to, get referrals from them. Don't prospect them in the business unless it makes sense. And so she emailed them on Facebook and told them that she had a business opportunity that could be very lucrative, that would benefit people who speak Spanish, especially if they're in Colombia. And do they know anyone that'd be interested in something like this? It's what Chris and I told her. More of a direct approach, not really doing the communication steps of develop, because she's asking referrals. And then when she talks to the people, you can go more direct on this because the country's just opening, and it's a way to, people are excited about growth in new markets. So you can be more direct. They responded to her, and they said they'd actually be interested. And then the next day they followed that response up before she responded to them with, although if it's one of those pyramids, I'm not interested. And so she didn't know how to respond to that, and she asked us what to do. So first of all, when somebody says pyramid, you need to understand that it really could be two things. One, it could mean to them it's an illegal business or a scam, which 15 years ago or more, pyramid was often used to describe a scam. But I find most people nowadays, they use pyramid as a synonym for network marketing, multi-level marketing. Because most people understand now that MLM isn't an illegal business. I mean, at least a legitimate MLM. If the FTC is fine with the way your company's doing things and your company's legitimate, obviously it's not an illegal business. But the point is, the people out there, they understand that network marketing is a legitimate business. Whereas years ago, you would get this from people sometimes. I mean, they'd really think that network marketing wasn't a legitimate business. They are just looking for a word in their vocabulary to describe what they think you're doing. And so the word that comes to mind is pyramid, because the word pyramid has been often associated with network marketing or multi-level marketing. So the first step is you need to determine which pyramid meeting they're thinking. So you ask them, when you say pyramid, what do you mean by that? And you're going to get one of two responses. Those illegal businesses that people try to do, or those scams. You might have to dig a little further, and if you look at I think I did a blog entry a while ago on scams, and that's more the road you're going there. You need to deal with the person with, is your company a scam, or is what you're doing a scam? So find that one, and that's how you address that one. If it's the other one, where they say, you know, those things where I get somebody below me and then they get somebody below me and so on and so on. Okay, now we're talking about network marketing or multi-level marketing, and you still don't really like their tone and attitude, which, you know, by the way, I told this person to call this person. Now, don't keep a dialogue on Facebook because you need to hear the inflection in the person's voice. And based on how they say things, you're going to know, you know, if they still kind of have a thing against MLM, or they think it's kind of a, you know, weird business model, or if it's just something maybe that they don't think they can do. So I will say this, even if you're in my company, which you're probably not, but let's say you were, you know, we're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, all that stuff. No one's going to try to tell me that we're illegal. However, if you're like most distributors where all you do is recruit, and you don't get customers, they might have a point that your company isn't legitimate, because it's kind of like a McDonald's selling a bunch of franchises and then never selling hamburgers. Even though my company, I know, is a legitimate company, if all we're doing is recruiting people, although if product's changing hand, technically that's not illegal, it's still like, you know, if you don't get customers, it gives people the argument. Whether they're right or wrong legally, you know, that's not the point. The point is that in their mind, it just doesn't seem like a sustainable business. It probably seems like a glass house, or what are you really selling? Are you selling a business, or are you selling product? And so that's why if you've got that kind of situation, we talk about, you know, in the Complete Networker course that we have, which if you haven't purchased and gone through, it's like $39. It's our introductory course. If you haven't gone through that, then you're missing out on the basic way to build MLM from what we found over the years, as well as the personal endorsement course on customers. Because if you don't, if you're not getting customers and you don't know how to train your downline to get customers, you're going to be in the situation, and you might give them a point as far as, you know, is this a pyramid? Now, I always say, because I want to try to figure out, you know, what's next. You mean network marketing or multi-level marketing? Is that something you or someone you know has done before? And if they say yes, then you need to have them tell the story. You need to find out, you know, are they negative on it? Or are they just, oh no, you know, a lot of people are like, you know, I know it's a good business. It's just not for me. It's the whole I can't do it thing. You're going to get that a lot. So, you know, you have to find out where they're at and what it is they'll think they'll be doing, and what it is they think they're not able to do. Now, some of the mistakes people make is they do the cheesy crap where they're, you know, corporate America's a pyramid. That's the real pyramid and all that crap. Okay, that doesn't, all you're doing is being argumentative and trying to prove your point and trying, you know, that stuff doesn't work. Like, those are those cutesy little phrases that people in MLM have been doing for years, and maybe it worked in the first 5 years of this industry, but it hasn't worked in the last 45 years. It just, people have heard it before and they don't care. And all you're doing is arguing with their position. You need to find out why they feel they can't do it. So you have to ask a lot of questions, and you have to listen and try to understand why they think this doesn't work. And so the biggest thing I'll tell you is this really comes down to you getting your act together. Because if you understand the right way to build MLM, and our Complete Networker covers that. So go get our Complete Networker course. It's MLMcompletepackage.com/MLM Complete Networker. Buy it, because it gives the general understanding that we've gotten over the last 10 years on the right way to build this business. Make it a part of you. Because when you're talking to people about this, and then they tell you what they think they'll be doing and why they can't do it, you can say, you know what, a lot of MLM people out there do that, but that's not the way I build a business. I probably wouldn't have a lot of success either if I did it that way. This is what I do. But in order to understand how you're gonna do MLM the right way, you need to understand what it is that we teach and what it is that we do. And the MLM Complete Package, Complete Network or course goes into all that. Then you're probably going to need to look at our personal endorsement courses, our business endorsement and our customer endorsement, so you understand actually how you get customers and actually how you grow the business. And eventually, the communication course that we have is huge on knowing how to ask questions and actually seeing a communication process go behind that. I bring up all our courses not to plug them and to promote them, but to tell you that I put them out there for a reason, and we sell them for a reason because people need this stuff. I used all this in my own team. Chris does. We both, if my downline comes to me with something in my own team, my company's specific version of our training, I tell them to go listen to that. It's efficient. So in order to answer the pyramid objection, you need to understand, one, what the person is really thinking. Two, if they're thinking, well, I have no problem with the business, but it's just not something for me. Network marketing really is not for me, is what they're saying. You need to figure out why. Three, you need to explain to them how what you're doing is different so they can see that, you know what, this is something that could work for me. And the Complete Networker course is where you need to start with that. And that's basically it. I'll just leave you with this. I will stress, again, don't fall in the trap where you need to sit there and explain away 50,000 things that are going to convince them otherwise. You need to get razor focused on what the person is, what's holding that person back and why they're bringing this up. And then you need to have your ducks in a row and your information once you determine what that is. And you're going to have a lot more success with this objection.